After many years, Artie came to Vladek's house, and Vladek was so happy to meet him. Vladek has a new wife that is called Mala because his last wife, Anja, had committed a suicide. Artie wanted to write a book and he asked Vladek about his life during the war. He told that he lived in Częstochowa in Austria and worked in the textile. While all this was happening, he was meeting a girl called Lucia. But his cousin one day wanted him to meet a girl that was called Anja. And they started to send letters each other and Lucia get angry with this. Vladek was very sick, so he used to have between 25 and 30 vitamins per day. Now, back to the story, we know that Anja had a communist ex-boyfriend, and one day he sent communist messages for her, and this takes problems. Before the police came looking for Anja and these documents, she gave these documents to Mrs. Stefanska, and the police arrested her and went on prison for 3 months. After all of this happened, Vladek found out this and wanted to break up with Anja, but finally he forgot him. In February 1937, Vladek and Anja get married, and in October 1937, they had their first son that was called Richard, but sadly he died many years later in the war. One day, Vladek was in the factory when they called him because Anja was sick. She explained him that she doesn't want to live anymore, but the doctor only said that there were breakdowns. Vladek and Anja moved to a sanitarium for 3 months in order to recover from the breakdowns that Anja suffered. 3 months later, Vladek and Anja get back from the sanitarium to the place they used to be. And they told Vladek that in this time the factory was robbed. However, Vladek was not able to build up again because he has no money. The 24th of August of 1939, Vladek received a letter that ordered him to enter in the Polish army in order to fight in the wars against the Germans.
The Polish army was in the Germany's border river. In one border there were the Germans and in the other border there were the Polish. The Germans defeated the Polish and sent them to Nuremberg. In there they had to work a lot. But the day of the partial Sturm, he was free and he took a train to Sosnowiec. But once there, he visited his parents and went to his home where Anja was. In Sosnowiec, he went to the Modrzejowska street to get money and food. In there, he saw his former client Ilseki, who needed fabrics. Days later, he went back to the Modrzejowska street and saw that the SS had blocked all the street. 1 year later, Vladek went to visit Ilseki. Passing through the train station, he saw a group of Germans arresting all the Jews. However, Ilseki saved him. Days later, Wolf came with an order announcing they had to move to Sosnowiec quarter. Another order was announced which said that all Jews over 17 years had to be arrested. Anja's grandparents were over 17, so they had to hide. However, they were sent to the gas in Auschwitz. Few months later, there was an announcement in which Jews had to register in the Dienst Stadium. There were 2 sides, the left and the right. Vladek went to the right.
Artie was sleeping, and suddenly Mala called him because Vladek had climbed to the roof to fix it and he had become dizzy. Artie goes 1 week later to visit his father, and Mala said him that his father has found a comic in which Artie talks about his mother's death. Vladek forgot him and he started to talk about the past actions in German concentrated camps. In 1943, the Jews left in Sosnowiec, go to live to Serdula. His family got a house there. Anja and her sister Tosha work in a factory of clothes, and Vladek and his nephew in a carpenter. Guards make them walk to their works all days. Tosha, Bibi, and Wolfe go out from there because by having contacts, but they were killed. The rest of the family hid in a bunker that made because were taking Jews to the gas chambers. One of the persons deleted them, and Germans caught them and sent to gas chambers. But the cousin of Vladek was there and helped all people except the parents of Anja. Vladek starts to make shoes, and the nephew of Vladek goes to the gas chambers.
Archie entered to the kitchen and saw Mala crying because Vladek took her bath and did not spend any money on her. In 1944, Vladek and Anja sneaked to Sosnowiec and searched a place to hide. Next day, Vladek dressed up as a Gestapo to go to a black market named the Carta. Here, some Jews told him to hide in Mr. Kawaka's farm, and she led them there. But in the Carta, a nice woman called Mr. Motsonawa told Vladek to hide in her house with her son. A nice time passed, but one day Mr. Motsonawa caught Vladek and Anja out because of fear, and they went again to Mr. Kawaka's farm. Mr. Kawaka told them to go to Hungary as it was more safe for them. But Mr. Motsonawa begged them to stay, although her husband did not like Jews. Finally, Anja and Vladek took the train to Hungary, thinking it was safer. But in Bielsko, Germans stopped the train. They got arrested. And the next day, Germans took them to Auschwitz, where Anja and Vladek got separated. Archie asked Vladek where Anja's diaries were for information about her past in Auschwitz.
Vladek wanted Artie to visit him because Mala left him, so Artie and Francois visit Vladek. Vladek told them that Mala stole all his money. Artie asked Vladek about the concentrated camp, and Vladek said that he met his nephew Abraham. He was afraid of dying, but one man saved him by teaching English lessons in exchange of giving a good job.
Vladek died from a heart attack in 1982. August 1979, Francois and Vladek went to the Catskill. Archie goes with Pavel, that was his analyst. Vladek was in a blacksmith world with a boss called Yitl, that was Russian. Many people get ill because of the bad conditions of the food. Germans take list. Vladek was in Auschwitz and Anja was in Birkenau. Vladek and Anja were in contact thanks to Manzi. Some Jews were sent from Auschwitz to Birkenau. They saw them talking and they hit him. It was a selection to decide if they die or they live. Vladek was good shoemaker. They both go to Auschwitz. Just start to go to gas chambers.
Archie entered to the kitchen. Archie and Vladek start arguing. But then Archie asked Vladek about some revolts in Auschwitz. In Auschwitz, the battlefield was very close. The Germans were scared and wanted to go, but some prisoners had a plan to escape. This plan consisted on hiding in an attic, but the concentration camps were going to blow up. So Vladek had to march with the rest of the prisoners, in which some made it and others didn't. They reached Gros Rocher, although they only stayed for one day. They marched again until a train in which many Jews died as it was overwhelmed. The train reached the Chao. Here there were lyses that caused the typhus.
so Vladek has to show a clean shirt to get food every day. He made a French friend that gave Vladek good food. Vladek exchanged chocolates for a clean shirt with some dew. After a while, Vladek catch typhus. Vladek told Artie that he couldn't make it alone, and Artie wanted to know how Anjas escaped. Prisoners took a train to Switzerland, and when it stopped, Germans let them go. But another group of Germans captured a group of Jews and wanted to kill them. There, Vladek met his old friend Shibek, and Germans let them go again. This happened twice. Now Shibek and Vladek hide in a house near a battlefield. When the Germans retired, they were free and the Americans helped them. Vladek shows Artie some photos of Anja's family, but he has no left of his own.
Artie received a phone call of Mala, which said that Vladek was in the hospital of Florida and that he had escaped. Artie took a plane and went to Florida. The next day, the three of them took a flight back to New York. An order came which said that they had to move to Garmisch-Partenkirchen. In there, Vladek had typhus again and diabetes. Later on, Vladek and Shibek arrived to Hanover. Once they arrived to Hanover, Vladek saw Anja's friends. He told him that Anja is alive. In Sosnowiec, Anja received a letter from Vladek, and in the other side, Vladek went to Sosnowiec walking. He finally reunited with Anja and lived happily.
The end.